Larry Dominique is the president and CEO of PSA North America. And of course, PSA is the parent company. That's Peugeot and Citroën out of France.
Correct.
But Larry, you're going to start off with mobility services and bringing PSA back to North America.
Yeah, absolutely, John. The approach we're taking is part of the PSA's Push to Pass plan. It's a 10-year plan for re-entry into the North American market. So as you can imagine, from a homologation point of view, it takes a while to engineer vehicles to work in the US market. So what we're going to do is we're going to start focusing on understanding the market. It's been 26 years since Peugeot left the United States. So we really want to start introducing technology and some mobility services so we can kind of understand the market, start to interact with consumers, understand how it's evolving before we actually start retail.
What I find fascinating is when you get to mobility services, you're even talking about using other car brands, not just Peugeot or Citroën or DS, some of PSA's brands. You're saying you might even put people into Fords or Volkswagens or the like. What's the thinking behind that?
Yeah, absolutely. On a global basis, we already have in Europe multi-branded operations in leasing, in repair, and so forth. We're going to carry that same philosophy over here. And the reason is, yes, manufacturing and selling cars is a core business for PSA on a global basis. But a key part of it is making sure that you're satisfying customers. And if we can launch mobility operations and before I have cars available and putting multi-branded vehicles, I'm going to do that. And eventually, if we decide on the service side or on the leasing side to continue to offer that, it's about interacting with consumers on a continuous basis. And if we can sell a few other brand cars in that process, then that happens.
What's been the reaction in Europe for consumers to be able to come to this free-to-move brand and be able to use any kind of brand that they might want?
Yeah, it's quite interesting. You know, on the mobility side, we have the Free-to-Move aggregation platform, which allows people to engage with all of the primarily car-sharing businesses. And in those car-sharing businesses, there's multi-brands, not only of the vehicles, but also in the service providers. So in that case, the consumers are more about the service than the car they're driving. And on the leasing and the repair side, we're just making it more convenient for consumers, whether or not to if I can go to a local repair center to repair my Volkswagen in Europe and it happens to be at a Peugeot dealer, then that's fine, that's great. And at the end of the day, we're satisfying customers under the PSA umbrella.
This is a radical move for a car company to help consumers get into other car companies' brands.
It is.
Why the bold move, and what drove that thinking?
You know, I think under Carlos Tavares' leadership as the chairman CEO of PSA Group, he understands that there's a very broad market. And as manufacturers, I don't care which manufacturer you are, you don't appeal to everybody, and you'll never appeal to everybody. So you never have a piece of the whole pie. By offering multi-branded services, we have a chance to capture customers in a much broader spectrum of the automotive market globally. And I think that's the key to the strategy.
But part of the strategy is to bring some of the Peugeot brands back into the US market.
Yeah, we're definitely, within that context, we're going to bring PSA branded vehicles into the United States. We've already decided which brand it is, but we haven't announced it yet, but we will in short order when we have the right time to do so. But it's going to be in concert with our Free-to-Move mobility brand as well. So we're not going to be talking about PSA per se, we're going to be talking about Free-to-Move, and we're going to be talking about the car brand, and those are going to be the consumer-facing elements that you're going to see.
So the Free-to-Move will probably come first, right?
Yes,
and
absolutely.
how far away are you from launching that?
So we will be announcing a lot of the Free-to-Move activities just in the next couple months. So stay tuned, you're going to see some more press from us, including the ability to showcase and show how those services work, and we're going to be able to have you download on your phone our Free-to-Move app and use it whenever you want to, John.
And when you start selling cars here, then that's probably, what, a few years away?
It's a few years away. I have a lot of work to do in areas of distribution strategy, parts and service, aftermarket finance. So there's a lot we're doing in that area as well. And we want to make sure that we also set up that operation to be the most cost-effective, customer-satisfying kind of network that we can possibly do.
I'm so jealous of you, Larry. You're really in a groundbreaking move for the automotive industry. This has got to be an exciting part of your career.
It is, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to step in and do this, John. I mean, we have a greenfield opportunity. Rarely do you get to introduce new brands to the United States or build an operation without legacy. And you can actually mold it in the way you think is modern and will be customer satisfying.
Larry Dominique, thanks for your time today.
Our pleasure, thank you.
The way we drive is transforming with new automated capabilities. through innovative solutions like radar sensor technologies for increased vehicle safety. Hella is leading the way in shaping the future of mobility.